After her father's sudden passing, Eva stepped into his shoes, quite literally, taking over as the operator of a mountain cable car nestled high in the Alps. The job was quiet, repetitive, even lonely at first, but it brought her closer to the sky, and eventually, to someone who would change her world in the most unexpected way. That someone was Nino. Nino had worked the cable line for years. Calm and precise, she welcomed Eva with quiet patience, teaching her the intricacies of the job. Their first meeting was nothing out of a romance novel, no sparks, no dramatic eye contact. But something passed between them, something simple and electric. It was in the way they lingered in conversation just a few seconds longer than needed, in the glances held too long across the steel and silence of the mountain. Soon a small ritual took root. After each shift, instead of joining her boss for evening chess as she always had, Nino began playing with Eva. Their matches were fiercely competitive, punctuated by laughter, groans, and the occasional teasing accusation of sabotage. Eva began applying a touch of lipstick before work. Nino started bringing better coffee. Their bond deepened through unspoken gestures. When Eva noticed Nino eating little more than dry biscuits at lunch, she packed an extra container of homemade stew. In return, Nino arrived the next morning with a basket of fresh-picked fruit, still dewy, still warm from the sun, and then one morning, their exchanges grew bold. As their cable cars passed mid-route, Eva began dancing, twirling playfully in her cabin. Nino responded the next day dressed in a silly costume, a pirate hat, then a fox mask, then glittery wings. It became their thing. Soon, they decorated the cabins with lights and flowers, turning the daily ride into something whimsical, something sacred. One evening, Nino followed Eva home. She stayed hidden, standing just beyond the light of Eva's porch. She didn't knock. She just stood there, watching her, heart pounding. It hit her then. This wasn't just playfulness. This was real. Eva had slipped into her quiet life and turned it vibrant. She was no longer just part of the job. She was part of the dream. The next day, without words, Nino asked Eva to walk home with her. Eva didn't hesitate. She ran. And for a long moment, under fading light and wind in their hair, they kissed, gentle, nervous, and full of all the laughter and longing they'd built day by day. But just as their bond started to bloom, reality crept in. Nino had been accepted into a flight attendant program, something she'd long dreamed of, a chance to soar even higher. She hadn't told Eva until now. For Eva, it felt like a quiet kind of heartbreak. The kind that doesn't come with screaming, only silence. The next morning, she showed up with a water pistol and ambushed Nino mid-shift. The water war that followed was childish, chaotic, and exactly what they needed. Eva laughed and cried all at once, and Nino understood. Words weren't enough, so she brought out her violin. The notes were soft, aching, vulnerable. Eva responded by picking up her own instrument. Together, they played under the open sky. It was a duet of unspoken promises, of sorrow, of hope. In the days that followed, Nino shared a personal melody with Eva, something sacred, something she never played for anyone. Eva practiced it alone, every evening, her fingers learning the curves of Nino's soul through music. One evening, they played together for the whole village. Their music floated through the hills, a sound of something more than love, something shared and eternal. But happiness seemed to come at a cost. Their boss, already sour from being ignored, snapped. Furious at their growing closeness, he smashed Nino's violin. The act was cruel, vindictive. But Eva didn't flinch. The next day, she presented Nino with a new violin, carved with care and wrapped with a ribbon. No words were exchanged, only tears. Their closeness grew stronger as they orchestrated a small rebellion. A local man, confined to a wheelchair, had always dreamed of riding the cable cars. The boss said no. They said yes. With ropes, pulleys, and gentle defiance, they made it happen. The boss retaliated by withholding their pay. Eva was devastated. But Nino had a better idea. That night, she led Eva up the mountain trail. Beneath a blanket of stars, Villagers began to appear with instruments in hand. Nino's secret surprise. Music rose around them. Fireworks lit the sky. The world seemed to hold its breath as the two of them danced under stardust. But joy, again, was threatened. The boss arrived, red with rage, ready to ruin it all. This time, Nino didn't freeze. Grabbing Eva's hand, they leapt from the cabin platform into the snowbank below, laughing, screaming, alive. They rose, bruised but unbroken. The boss was finished, outmatched not by force, but by love unshakable. In the end, Eva and Nino walked hand in hand through the quiet snow. The future still uncertain. But they had each other. And that, they both knew, was enough.